We are back for episode 5, The Secret. Welcome to Plathville.
Just it's really fake and gay. And I am actually an expert on all matters that are fake and gay.
So let's get right into it. I've got my notes. We return right where we left off at Kim's cabin. Ethan asks Zach, "Are you gay?" So Zach reacts exactly how I thought he was going to be. He was very caught off guard, did not think that was going to be the question. They're asking him about, waiting to kiss for marriage, like what he's doing for work, that kind of thing. And Ethan pulls out, "Are you gay?" It was kind of crazy. He just kind of laughs and says no. And then the craziest thing is Ethan says, "You promise?" And it was just kind of crazy. And then everyone goes around and is kind of like, nothing against gay people, though. Nothing against gay people, though. It was very ridiculous because I kind of feel like they low-key do have things against gay people. So then Zach says he appreciates the brothers and their protectiveness over Lydia, and he said he would do the same thing if a guy came to one of his 2 sisters and wanted to marry them in 3 months. But would you, Zach? Because I really don't feel like you'd be acting like this necessarily. Zach says he's not offended by the gay question, and he's not defensive about it. He's confident in who he is, honestly very mature. Zach, I wasn't sure about him at first because I would personally be very perturbed by a man coming in and trying to marry my sister in 3 months, but I'm very impressed by how much of a class act he is, truly. Micah does invite Zach to Boca Raton to see his work ethic. I'm guessing he's wanting help on the renovation in the new house. So maybe in a couple episodes, not in this episode, but in a couple episodes, we'll see Zach and Lydia go down to Boca Raton to hang out with Micah and Veronica. Ethan tells Zach he really wants to like him and have a good relationship with him, but he's just not there yet. But really, this rocky start, you could have grilled him without trying to ruin his proposal, trying to knock him down, starting fires, being petty. This is really not gonna be something extremely good. Then we cut to scene 2. We're at the Plath farm. Lydia is there feeding the horses. She's honestly pissed at Micah and Ethan about asking Zach if he was gay. I've really never seen her like this, and she says that she's not mad, but she's definitely very offended and seems very upset. I think I've really never seen her, and how I can tell she's truly upset, she gets a little petty and says, quote, "Ethan saved sex for marriage, and I didn't think he was gay for that." Now, I don't think that was ever stated. It was kind of assumed, but never purely stated. I doubt Ethan wants that information quite out there, so she just dropped that bomb on us. She also said it's very sad that saving first kisses makes a man seem gay, and I mean, while I think it is one of the reasons that Ethan thinks Zach is gay, I think he's bothered by it because he feels like, I don't know. But honestly, that isn't the only reason Ethan thinks this man is gay, to be fair. Now, I don't think Zach is gay, but to say that that's like kind of why he thinks that is not completely accurate for the situation. So then we go to scene 3. We're 2 days later out from the proposal in Boca Raton. Amber and Ethan are visiting Veronica and Micah. Micah and Ethan are probably out working somewhere. Veronica tells Amber she is worried Lydia is living to be a wife. Amber said that's fine if that's what she wants. But then Veronica keeps on and keeps on. She says the family isn't what she thought it was. Amber said she isn't used to a large family and that's the problem. And that some of them don't talk to each other and that's okay. Some of them don't have as strong of relationships with each other because the family's so large. Veronica says it's not that, and it's that Moriah and Barry lie about her. So Amber is really trying to shut the conversation down. But also, can we just note that at the time of filming this, they're filming this in like December of 2024. Amber is like not even 16 at this point when she's having this conversation and like in the middle of all of this. Amber says she definitely builds things in her head and exaggerates a bit. And then in a talking head, Amber's upset and says that she doesn't like how Veronica is talking about her family. Then we move on to scene 4. We're at Barry's house on the farm. Lydia announces that they are staying in Florida instead of moving to Colorado as initially planned. Zach has a job lined up as a city tennis coach in Tallahassee. Now, I want to know how much he's making off that, because how is he going to support, Lydia? I'm sure they'll have at least 4 or 5 kids. Like, what's our plan here? I kind of agree with Micah. Like, we need to see this work ethic. Barry is very excited for local grandkids, and it's kind of floated the idea that Zach might move in with Barry and Isaac until the wedding day. So then scene 5, just a little tiny scene, we're back in Boca. Ethan and Micah come back and join Veronica and Amber at the house. They walk into complete awkwardness. Veronica starts on saying everyone is gaslighting her. Ethan asks how the family issue can be fixed, but there's no real answer. So basically this Veronica and Micah stuff is going on and on and on. There's no real solution. I think she just wants an apology, but honestly, if she got a real apology, I don't necessarily know that would fix the issues. I think the real issues is just deep-seated in their relationship, and this is just kind of like the scapegoat for the real issues. Scene 6, we're at Barry's house. This is honestly the first true filler scene that we've gotten this whole season. There's several in this episode, but Moriah and her friend Sydney are playing Chubby Bunny with Barry. I did see a few people speculate on Reddit that this Sydney girl was an actor for the show and wasn't actually a friend of Moriah's. I could see that because it was very awkward, but then again, they are filming, and if she isn't an actress, then it obviously her first time on a TV show, she would be awkward. Season 7, we are back to Veronica and Micah. So they're now arguing in their backyard, and Ethan and Amber are flipping bottles in the front yard. It was kind of cute to see them hanging out and having fun together. They have the same fight they've been having for the previous 4 episodes, naturally. She does drop a little bomb and says that Kim wanted Micah's name on the house deed, which I just thought was very odd. Micah didn't correct her, so I guess that was true. Kim needs to stay out of people's damn business. Kim's got her own problems. Veronica then brings up history is repeating itself, and she goes on and on about that. And then she finally just kind of breaks down and tells Micah she's been talking to Olivia for months. So honestly, at this point, I'm thinking, how are these two still together? Like, I feel like Veronica is almost just like dating him still to cause problems and to kind of blow things up and get revenge. Micah, I don't really understand how he's saying in this. This is obviously, I guess, like, he's, there's some allegations that he's kind of a moocher. I don't know. I just can't fathom why they're still together, because these issues are just ongoing and very external and not really easy to solve, and it just seems like there's no peace. Obviously, we only see what they film and we only see the most volatile parts, but it really just seems like there's no peace. But when she tells Micah that she's been talking to Olivia, Micah really doesn't blow up. He's very calm. He's just kind of processing, but I would love to see how he reacted after the cameras left. This whole season, I feel like Micah is really almost like he's not reacting because he doesn't want a bad edit, or he's just checked out of the relationship entirely, and so that's why he doesn't really care. But it just really seems like something's going on there. So then Veronica leaves to go to the other house. Scene 8, we're at a bar. We're back with Moriah, Sydney, and Barry. They're grabbing drinks right before Moriah moves. I do wonder if she's moving in this season or she's after Lydia's wedding, and we'll see the move perhaps in a potential season 8. Barry has never ordered alcohol in front of Moriah before, and she kind of mentions that he's kind of letting loose. Honestly, Barry, I felt like, was low-key flirting with Mariah's friend. Now, I have my girlfriend off camera. Did you feel like...
Okay, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I kind of got that vibe, too.
And he's kind of like that, like, awkward, like, joking all the time that could come off as flirty.
I fear he could pull a bad bitch.
With those muscles.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
So,
I think he could have,
think it's, like, that far out that he could be potentially pulling someone that age.
I think he could honestly have if he wanted to, and maybe he does, which we'll get into that in just a second, but he could, like, honestly have, like, a really pretty 35-year-old girlfriend if he wanted to. So after he low-key flirts with Mariah's friend, Barry says, they asked Barry about his dating life because they kind of mention Mariah's and don't really say anything. Barry says he wants to date a lady with good humor, who likes to travel, who's physically active, which I felt like that was shade at Kim, because Kim has put on quite a lot of pounds since her, early days, which, to be fair, she's given birth to 10 children, to be fair. But I did feel like that was either him saying that he only wants to date skinny women. So if there's people watching, just know, do not apply if you're fat. Or it was subtle shade at Kim. I don't know. Barry said he isn't ready to date again and that is months away. He says Kim has no effect on if he dates or not, but he doesn't want to date while the girls are still young and teenagers. Which honestly, again, I think is shade on Kim. Because as we know, Kim had dated that Ken guy for quite a while, very quickly after leaving Barry. And I'm sure she's, you know, sucking and fucking. And so, sorry, was that too much? I don't know. So, but I would love to know, he's saying that he's not ready to date. Is he hooking up? Because I don't know what he means by that. Like, are we hooking up? Are we not dating? Are we not doing anything? I do want that clarified, Barry. So then scene 9, we're back in Boca. Now it's just Micah, Ethan, and Amber. They're on a job site for Micah, and Ethan and Amber helping out. Micah, just out of the blue, there was no, like, segue in the conversation. It was very abrupt. Micah tells Ethan that Veronica is talking to Olivia. Ethan is to stop dead in his tracks. You could tell he was shocked. He said that really sealed the deal on him not supporting Veronica and not being friendly with her. Ethan really doesn't say much in the moment to Micah. You can see he's very much still processing. I'm honestly surprised he didn't rage, but I think it's the same thing with Micah, and he doesn't want to get a bad edit and look crazy on camera, but he did seem fairly unbothered by the Olivia of it all and Lydia coming back into his life. Maybe he had some other thoughts off camera. And then at the very end of the episode, Micah says he is unsure about his future with Veronica. I mean, girl, come on. Like, obviously. But then they show us some previews for, like, the wedding. Oh my God, it looks so good. And there's a little Kim shade. Like, I feel like Kim's not really into this whole marriage thing. They showed Micah's nose split up. So I guess maybe they are. I assumed the last episode would be Lydia's wedding, but maybe they filmed a little bit after to cover, like, the Veronica breakup of it all, and then the nose injury part where Isaac busts Micah's nose up. They also show everyone, including Kim, having an intervention with Veronica. Oh my God, I want to see that. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. We also see Micah and Veronica in couples therapy, which is very near and dear to me and my girlfriend's heart, because we are currently watching, like, the Paramount show Couples Therapy with Dr. Orna, and we're eating that up. We're on season 2. Right. We're really eating up Michael and Michal right now, if you're also have seen that. But I'm just very excited. This episode, honestly, was one of the most boring ones, but I think that we've got some good stuff looking forward. I think that we might have, like, an episode or two that's kind of filler. I believe they usually put out 8 to 13 episodes each season. We're only on 5. So there could be some filler before we get something good, unfortunately. But I'm gonna stay tuned in. I am locked into the show, and we will see you guys next week.
Just it's really fake and gay. And I am actually an expert on all matters that are fake and gay.